We've got a good podcast today, Tash. You're going to like this. I was
so
surprised,
excited.
Tash, guys, so she doesn't actually know what we're going to quite talk about today.
Surprise.
But this is the growth podcast, and today we're going to be talking in the wealth section.
Oi, yay!
Hey, get some applause there.
It's my favourite.
Today's topic, what do you think about money?
Huh.
No, I'm not going to ask you specifically, though. We will hear your views on this stuff like that. But it's more for people listening. Well, what do you think about money? When you hear the word money, and we've done some trainings on this recently, and you always study and read up on this because you love money.
Love it.
But where do we get our thoughts on money?
It all happens when we're God. And even don't even get me started on intergenerational inheritance. Like we can even inherit stress or problems or beliefs around money even before we're born. But
that was interesting. That's fascinating. Just tell
it's
us
a whole other topic.
Just tell us a few seconds more about that one. But yeah, it's actually you were saying that when people are born, they can actually take on the traits and beliefs of their parents.
Yes.
Like it's actually passed in the genes somehow.
I'm not a scientist, so I don't fully understand it, but they've proven it time and time again that it goes through the genes.
Yeah, we're not going to dig into that, but that's crazy. When Tash and I heard that, we're like, uh-oh. So, but yeah, what do you think about money and basically your beliefs about money and stuff like that? Yeah, I was going to get you to share. Well, how do people develop thoughts about money?
Yeah.
Where does this come from?
Well, I think wherever you are, however much money you have is a result of either two things. The thoughts and beliefs that you have created and have learnt in your past, and you have not been aware of them, so you're just running the same pattern. So if you have a lot of money, that is because of the thoughts and the beliefs and the experiences you've had that have taught you to have a lot of money. Or if you have no money, it's the same thing. It's just the thoughts and the beliefs and the patterns and the experiences that you've had. Now, I've never had it that way where people are very rich and they go, let me just change all my thoughts and beliefs so I become poor. People don't tend to do that. But the people that are poor tend to go, okay, what if I changed my thoughts and beliefs and experiences and my ideas around money to upgrade to a wealth mindset and therefore see if the wealth follows? And again, studies after studies after studies, and countless people have proven that if you upgrade your mindset to a wealth mindset, the money follows.
Yeah, hence the book by... Oh, where's his name gone?
Think and Grow Rich
by Napoleon Hill.
Let's talk about that book for a second.
He did get to interview the wealthiest people in the world at the time.
Yes.
Like Henry
So
Ford,
let's say a couple of things about
this. Or Carnegie and stuff like that. So,
because firstly, I'm pretty sure that book has sold out in over 100 million copies.
It's done very well.
And as far as I know, there isn't 100 million billionaires on the planet.
No.
So it's fair to say not everyone that read that book became a millionaire or a billionaire.
You just said billionaire then. It's interesting you went straight for that with your mind and that.
But if the book was that good, they could all create it.
If they chose to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's not just a book in itself, because if we read a book with the belief that money is hard to make, if we grew up in a family where the father and the mother always struggled to make ends meet, struggled to find money for the bills, had to look in the couch for spare change to have enough money for dinner that night, and always said money is hard to make, money is hard to make and have, money is hard to make and have, and you have that core belief, it doesn't matter if you read a book like Think and Grow Rich, because you're still running. It's like a computer. It just runs a virus in the background saying money is hard to make, or whatever the belief is. So it's really important that, yes, you can get the knowledge, but you have to have the right mindset before you go dig for the knowledge. Because if you have the wrong mindset, the knowledge can't go in. Yeah.
And I thought even going back a couple of steps on this was having the understanding that people have beliefs about money, because they might be the first time for some people hearing, well, money's money. But, you say the phrases to people like, money is what?
Yes.
What would some people suggest?
Well, I think that. Yeah, or even money is. So I feel a big one is money is hard to make.
Yes.
We've also got money is. A lot of people say money is dirty.
Yeah, some people have heard say money is evil.
Yes.
Or money doesn't grow.
Everyone has said on trees.
That's the one. And
let's just think about that. Everyone cast your mind back, because remember, you came onto this planet with a clean slate, negating the gene passing on thing. You came on, you didn't know anything when you were a baby. So how does every single one of you know that money does not grow on trees? And I can remember my parents saying that. And you know why my parents said that? Probably because their parents said that. Yeah. And I don't know which generation came up with that, but it's been passed on.
And it seems a lot of families, I think, just took that on board. I was going to say,
and normally, when did we always get it told to us?
When we're kids.
Yeah, but doing what?
Not asking to buy something or wanting to spend money on something or wanting a present or a toy, something like that.
It had to do with spending something, and then it was money doesn't grow on trees. Now, can I just say, we were in Queensland 6 months ago. We walked past an avocado tree dripping with avocados, and I went, there is a money tree if you've ever seen one. It literally looked to me like a tree dripping with $5 notes. For anyone that doesn't buy avocados, in the off-season, $5-6 an avocado, and they were just dripping with it. Yes. So I believe money does it very much grow on trees.
You'll change your beliefs. Yeah, so we're forming these beliefs about money in our formative years of growing up, and then adults and walking around with these beliefs without really actually thinking about it or knowing. But that is then affecting the way that we either attract money, make money, how much, and all that stuff, isn't it?
Well, you can't operate in a world that is different to what you believe.
I was going to say discordant. Is that a word?
Oh, it's very much a word, Mr. Musician. And what is the definition of discordant even in the musical world?
Off key.
Yeah, it's like, ugh.
Or off.
It's just off.
Something's off. Yeah.
Yeah, but it really is. And, I meet people like so many times. It's a simple thing like how much money you have in your wallet. Think about how much money you have in your wallet right now. Mm. And for most people, you will have as much money in your wallet as your parents had in their wallet. And probably, I don't know if it goes on because I don't know if they had wallets. The generation behind that and the generation behind that. But I know for me, I was just very, 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 very lucky that my parents had a quite unique way to look at money. And so I grew up just knowing you had to have at least $1,000 in your wallet. Like you just needed $1,000 in cash. And it wasn't until I went to high school and university that, I'd open up my wallet and there'd be $1,000 and people would be like, whoa, what are you buying? And I'd be like, I'm not buying anything. They're like, but you've got $1,000. And I'd be like, yes, doesn't everyone have $1,000 in case, or that the bank card doesn't work? And then people were like, can I borrow? So and it's whether or not they knew I had $1,000, but someone might be going, I don't have $5. The FPOS machine is down. I don't have $5.
Well, this actually happened earlier this year. We were traveling interstate in Australia.
Yes.
And in a little place in Tasmania somewhere. And we rocked up into a town and we went to the supermarket to buy some food. And every person that walked in, they said, just to let you know, our FPOS or internet's down, which then does the FPOS. And I'd say like 4 out of every 5, 8 or 9 out of every 10 people had to walk out because they didn't have any cash in their wallet.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying that we're not judging behaviour. No. I'm just looking at my upbringing, and my parents were always, there must be cash, so therefore I grow up going, there must be cash, and it's unquestioned. It just happened. Yeah. Same thing. No, it's gone. Can't remember. Cut that out.
I wanted to bring it back anyway, and because we've been obviously talking, what do you think about money? So the people are now thinking, and at least now you can be aware and you can ask yourself the question, well, what do I think about money? And they can jot down some notes and stuff like that.
Yes.
If you've never thought about it, and we're doing this really cool training or learning this thing this year, Tash and I, which is mind expanding, which is critical kind of thinking. It's just basically everything you do in life. It doesn't have to be around this specific question, but everything you do, well, why are you doing it? Ask yourself those questions. When did I learn this? Why am I doing this? Have some, what did I say today? Some time to reflection time, that we're just not operating automatically all the time. So we've got these beliefs. We're now just discovering we have these beliefs about money. What can we do about changing this belief? Because
so I think firstly, people have to go, money is, and brainstorm everything. So to me, let me ask you, money is, and just, you're not allowed to think, just ice cream.
Abundant.
Yep, money is.
Fun.
Yep, money is.
Freedom.
Money is.
Choice.
Love it. Other people might be, money is hard. Money is stress. Money is there's never enough. Money is can't make it, don't know how to make it, or whatever it is. Now, if any of those thoughts and beliefs come up, you don't need to judge it. You just need to go, well, that would make sense. If I don't have the wealth and the financial freedom that I want to have, but yet I have a belief that money is hard to make. Well, that would make sense. I've never come across someone who's wealthy and financially free and financially abundant that has a belief that isn't in accordance to that, as you said. It's discordant otherwise.
Yes.
So how do you change it?
How do you change it?
Well, firstly, you have to be aware of it.
Yes, and we've got that. And then you've even now made a list of that, which is cool. So
make your list.
Yes. Yeah. And then what will you do for the next step?
Well, the first one is then there's no point. A lot of people say, we'll help you get rid of your limiting beliefs. We'll remove your limiting beliefs. Nothing can exist in a vacuum. If you go and take out your rose bush and go, I've taken it out, that doesn't just stay empty ground. A weed will grow, something will grow. So you can't just get rid of a negative money belief and leave and do nothing.
We want to replace it with something.
Yeah.
The opposite kind of belief, if they want that.
It's really that easy.
Yeah, so you can actually look at your list
on the left-hand side. So just look at your list and write it out the other way.
So if we had one, for example, money is hard to make, that's on the left-hand column. On the right-hand, what could we reword that as?
So it's just one word, money is easy to make.
Okay.
And I would have money is easy to make and have.
Yes. Yes, because, easy to make. More easy to make for someone, isn't it? That might be easy to make for Bill.
Bill's living the life, but what about me?
Bill and Jeff doing very well. Yes, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos.
Oh, I thought we were just talking about a random Bill.
I just assumed you understood what I was talking about.
Missed that one.
No. Okay, so that's what we do for changing this, do we? That's it?
It's not, that's it. You then need to prove it to yourself. So normally when you change a belief and you go, okay, money is easy to make. And let's say you decide that you're going to repeat that affirmation. You can call it an affirmation, morning, noon and night for the next 30 days. So you wake up and you go, money is easy to make. You wake up, you go to lunchtime, money is easy to make. You're most likely going to feel like a complete fraud. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to cringe because you don't believe it. Now, there are NLP techniques and guided hypnosis and all these different things you can do to completely make that transformation quicker, like instant. But otherwise, you're just going to feel dumb because you don't believe it.
I like the example. This may not be even related to this, but I think it was in Tony Robbins' book. And he's going, so we're creating this new belief about money. Now, pretend that that's the top of a table.
You love the table.
I love the table one. It's really cool. So your belief is this flat table. Think in your head, square table, rectangle table, circular table. Whatever table you love, just think that is your new belief. Now, to make this belief believable and really like it's solid for us, we believe it, he says we need to add legs to our table. So legs are basically things that we can look
evidence
out there that we've either done ourselves. We see other people and we go, I believe that.
Yes, you fast forwarded to where I was going.
Oh, did I?
Because that's what I was saying. So you're going to feel like a fraud.
Yes.
So what do you actually have to do? You still say the affirmation, but now you exactly right. Have to find the proof.
Yes.
So you'll most likely the universe has a little bit of a sick sense of humor. So the minute you start saying money is easy to make, you'll probably be thrust into a situation which kind of proves money is hard to make.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say what's a situation like that? You were waiting on someone to close a sale and the person rang up at the 11th hour and said, I'm not buying the thing. And you'll be like, see, money is hard to make. That affirmation is ridiculous. And then you'll go back to doing it the old way. But remember, the old way doesn't work for you. That's why you want to change.
Yes.
So you have to go in that moment when the sale falls through, because that's the test, you have to immediately rewire and go, okay, well, apparently all things that happen for good in my life, and apparently money is easy to make. So if money is easy to make and the sale just fell through, what does that mean?
Yes. Again, this is asking those questions, that kind of critical thinking, reflection time.
So if I was on the sales call, I'd be like, absolutely, Bill, that's fine that you don't want to buy my computer software. But I'm wondering, do you know of anyone else that would?
Yeah.
And maybe Bill refers you a client 10 times bigger than Bill.
Yes.
And that is your evidence that money is easy to make.
Yeah.
But it all starts with you, and it's having that faith to go, I can't keep believing this because it's got me the results so far. If you want a different result, you have to change what you think, what you believe, and how you act.
That's
freaking hard. I get that.
Other quote, isn't it? It's like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes.
And that's how people operate.
Yes.
And stuff. And then other people flip it around and go, well, I'll see it when I believe it.
Yes.
I love that quote. Yeah, because I'll see it when I'm...
No, most people, you're gorgeous. Most people say, I'll see it when I believe it. No, I'll see it, then I'll believe it.
I'll believe it when I see it. So when I see it, I'll believe it.
Yes. The people where you have to get to is I believe it, so that makes me see it.
Yes. I think that's what I said. Who knows? But anyway, these evidence, like as you said, when we find these little bits of evidence, going back to my table analogy.
Yes, finish that.
So you've got one bit of evidence. Just think that's underneath your table. You know those tables with like one thing on there. You can push those over pretty easily. And then you get a second leg and a third leg. So the more legs we keep adding to this table of evidence, it just
becomes unshakable.
It does. And then that belief is now you believe that. 100%.
And if you believe that 100%, when the world happens around you in disconnect to what you believe, you find the seeds of opportunity and you find the answers that were there all along but weren't accessible to you until you believed that it worked a certain way.
Yeah. I think as Warren Buffett kind of says, when the best opportunities to make are when others are most fearful. Like, when the market's crashing. Be greedy
when others are fearful. Yeah. Be fearful when others are greedy.
Yeah. When the market's crashing, these are the best times to, and that's how he sees it for making money. What do you think about money? We kind of
and you talk about different beliefs. We've had a goddamn interesting year. And one of our biggest beliefs that we've installed this year that I still am working on is everything happens for good for us. Everything works out for us. Everything happens for the good for us. So when it's crashing down and it appears things are happening to us and bad things are happening, if we face it with, but it all works out in the end and everything always works out for us and everything is happening for us, you can't connect the dots moving forward. You can only see the dots connected when you look back. And like there was a situation even yesterday where I was going, wow, we missed out on an opportunity. Well, it wasn't an opportunity. We missed out on something 2 months ago and I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. I was so devastated. It was like the worst thing that could have ever happened. And only 2 months later, we look back and we're like, thank God that didn't come off. Thank God someone was looking after us because that didn't happen, it led to this opportunity, which led to this, which led to this, which is so much better.
Yes.
So it's having that faith in the math of destruction that it will work out.
I kept on telling you everything's going to work out, Tash.
Yeah, he was so goddamn annoying. I'm bawling my eyes out. He's like, it's fine. Not go away.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying any of this stuff is easy, but I also know living without change is the hardest thing in the world.
Yeah. And I thought we'd move into, so we kind of got what do you think about money? Mm-hmm. We've had our beliefs, we discovered beliefs, how to install a new belief. And I thought we'd just go really briefly in this podcast, just kind of like, well, maybe why do you want money for you? Because there's so many different reasons there.
Unique and personal.
Like what does money mean for you?
Well, firstly, you've got belief around money. There's also the belief around exactly right. Why should you have too much money? What is too much money? Because that's again the whole negativity around talking about money. I've said this before. Like you talk about money and it's like you've just brought up sex at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Like it is not okay.
It's a taboo topic. Don't talk about that or politics or whatever else you're meant to not talk about.
Yeah, like you're not going to sit down at dinner with your second cousins and your aunts and uncles at Christmas and go, so who had the best orgasm last night? They just don't like to talk about it.
Generally not many conversations people do.
And it's the same with, so how's everyone's investments going? Who made the most money last month in their investments? Everyone would just be like, get that woman out. She's the rudest person. Rude? To share tips on how to grow wealth, to look after our children and our children's children and our children's children. I don't get it.
Again, it's that kind of mindset and stuff like this.
Yeah, and it's conditioned.
Yeah, so I thought, well,
sorry, I'm taking it off topic. Why do you want money?
Why do you want money? What does money mean for you? What does wealth mean for you? And
I think there's a belief of, I think if you asked any human on the planet a question like, do you want more money? The answer is always yes. But if then to get more money, it requires a big reflection, a big change within, a huge amount of action, then people go, okay, maybe I don't. So there's always, you and I have talked about it a lot before, you and I don't feel that we want to be billionaires because we have a belief, whether it's true or not, that would require more work than we're willing to put in.
Yeah.
So I've settled on Hectomillionaire?
Deca?
No.
Oh.
Deca's only 10 million.
Up to 99.
Yeah, I need 100.
Well, there you have it. There's cash. But yeah, you kind of...
But you have to price out... So, sorry, to answer your question, how much money do you need? Is that the question?
No, well, why do you want money?
Why do you want money? Well, price out your dreams. Yeah. So why do you want money? I hope the answer is because I want to live my dream life. We only get one. Apparently there's reincarnation, but you can't remember it. So if I've been here a million times before, I don't remember. It doesn't actually mean anything to me. So the only life I care about right now is this one. And I don't want to live it at a level. Like, I want to live it at the highest level I can live at. And I have dreams that require an amount of finances. So price out your dreams. For some people, it's 20 grand. It's a log cabin out in the wilderness with a big fence so no one can come in. Respect. Yeah. For someone else, it's 10 private aeroplanes, an island in Bermuda, and the biggest yacht that was ever made. That's a much higher price. For someone else, it's just pay for uni for my kids, 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom home, 2 cars, and a holiday once a year. Doesn't matter, but price out your dreams, not what you think you can have, what you dream to have. Price it out, get a number, and work towards it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and kind of knowing. Yeah.
And be around people that when you talk about, like I was in a group and someone was saying, I've never really thought about how much money I'd have. And he's a die-hard baseball fan. And I was like, do you want to own a baseball team? He's like, I've never thought about it. I'm like, have a think about it. Now, I don't know if he's landed on wanting to own one or not, but it was like the veil of, but I hadn't even considered that maybe I could. Yeah. But if that's your dream, go for it.
Yeah. Because I kind of think about it for me and I go, like, I've said this to you a few times before, but it's kind of like doing what I want, when I want, however I want. And that's
yes. So, yes, I've taken it one way.
Yes.
I do think your definition is much better. So, financial freedom.
Yes.
We think, if you're listening to this podcast and you're liking what we're saying, then the goal should be financial freedom. So, lots of people settle for financial security.
Yes.
They go, I just want enough money to pay my bills.
So, if I make $60,000 or $70,000 a year, what could I get from, I don't know if this is another level up, but what can I get from my investments to cover that every year so I wouldn't have to do that particular job?
Yeah. So that's financial, no, that's not even.
That's like a security.
So what do you call financial freedom?
Doing
what you want, when you want, how you want, choice. With who you want.
Yeah. I really define it as choice.
And that depends. So for someone else, doing what you want can cost $1 million, $100 million, $10,000, depending on what it is that you want to do. With who you want, I was reading about billionaires the other day, and they said if you have enough money, you can go play tennis with Roger Federer. Apparently, it costs $500,000. Yeah. So if that's what you want to do,
that's choice.
So with who you want, go for it.
Yeah.
When you want, you want your investments to cover your lifestyle, so you're not reliant on having to go to work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So when you want, you work, and when you don't want to work, you don't work. How you want, in what style and in what way, whenever you want.
Yeah. And I wanted to share, wrapping up almost anyway, but it doesn't matter about age. Don't want age to be a barrier. I'm not too young. I'm too young to make money, or I'm too old to make money. Got a couple of stories, Tash. 2 stories here.
Okay.
You like these ones anyway. You're not too old to make money. Here's a couple of examples of people who made, we're obviously looking at the extreme examples of people made some serious wealth later on in their lives. But you've got Henry Ford. Have a guess, Tash. When did he make his money? Don't guess. I'll just tell.
48.
You're pretty close. It was late 40s. So how did you know that? And then you got Ray Kroc, 52.
Yeah.
Before I think they said amassed a fortune about $500 million.
Good on you.
Ariana Huffington Post, 55.
Good book.
Yep. And then wrapping it up, Harlan Tash.
Who is Harlan?
Harlan Sanders.
Is that KFC man?
Yeah, 62. So these people, people would be like, oh no, if I'm in my 50s, too late. And then
just reaching your prime, baby. Yes,
and then if you want to discuss about, okay, I'm too young to make money. Again, it's actually going to be a reference back to the Tony Robbins book.
The 16.
Yeah,
he 9-year-old.
Yeah, Tony was he must have.
I think Tony was 19, thinking he'd made it.
And he'd rocked up somewhere, I think maybe in a limo, got out, and he was talking to, I think, the person who takes your car or whatever. And then someone else pulled up in a bigger limo, shinier limo after him. And this boy got out. Basically, I think it was like 7, 8, 9 years old. And then he gets out, walks past Tony. And I think Tony said to the person, oh, that boy's family must be doing really well. Must be come from a very wealthy family. And he said, no, that's Mr. Harrison.
I think they called him Master.
Oh, Master. That's Master Harrison. It's like, who's that? He's like, yeah, he started an empire and is worth so and so much money.
A toy empire.
Yeah, started off with like hamsters or something like that, yes. and then moved on.
Took the money from the hamster profits.
And I think he's just like, holy shit. Really, kind of like, doesn't matter where you are. But I just wanted to illustrate that for age is no barrier here.
Yeah, and I think if you can take the charge away from money is a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It's not, wars have been fought over it. All these things happen, and it's just, it just is. And if you want to tap in and create more wealth for yourself, change the beliefs, find the strategies to do so. And do that. And if a 9-year-old boy can do it and a 62-year-old man can do it, and you're a human and they're a human, there's nothing stopping you except your own thoughts.
Yeah. So that is our thoughts on what do you think about money.
And if you haven't guessed, like one of my beliefs is I love money and money loves me.
Money is abundant.
Yeah.
Money is easy to make.
So look after it, care for it, love it, and work on creating more of it for you and your family and your dreams.
Yeah. And if you like this episode, Tash and I are going to be talking more about wealth episodes in the future, aren't we?
Sure are.
You love it.
My favourite topic. So make sure to hit subscribe and leave us a review.
Cool. Thank you.
Speak soon.